back at you with another Scale Club scoreboard update. The last time we were on, we shared our results from all of 2023 and the absolutely incredible year that our BDMs put together with total number of doors signed. Now we are in 2024, and believe it or not, somehow we are already halfway through February. So I want to share with you the results from January so that you can see how you compare to our community of business development managers. In January, we actually saw a great amount of volume considering what we typically see this time in January. It was a pretty exciting month, and I would like to especially highlight this 93% to goal at the bottom of the scoreboard. Yes, our BDMs were 93% to goal in January. We attribute this to a couple of things. First, we are getting really dialed in on helping companies figure out what predictable growth looks like and forecasting that throughout the year, each quarter, and then down to each month. And even further than that, how we figure out what activities need to happen each week. So getting that dialed in and really making sure that everyone has a great plan throughout the entire year, all the way down to the weekly activities, has been absolutely pivotal to make sure that our BDMs are not only striving for top performance, but we are forecasting predictably so that you guys can run your business with a bit of consistency. The other thing that I want to share with you guys is that while you can see that we saw drops in the average number of doors added and the lead volume, it's still pretty impressive for this time when we compare to last year. So our leaders for this month are Memphis, Tennessee at 23. You see that's down. Well, that's because this particular leader was at the top of the board in December as well, with over 120 doors in the month of December. He comes back even after emptying out his pipeline, leading our scoreboard at 23 doors this month. And we've got Grand Rapids, Michigan at 22, Chicago, Illinois at 21, Fort Worth, Texas at 18, Arizona at 16 for 274 doors across our entire community in January. Average number of doors across all members was 7, down about 7% from 8 that we saw last month. And then 11 for the top 50%. So what we consider to be our real top performers, or even the people that have been in the role for longer and have had time to prospect and really get those things going. So that was down about 15% from December, but again, 11, still a very impressive number for January, considering the trends of property management seasonality. As I said, lead volume was down. December was about 24. Now we're at 21. So we did see that decrease. But our community has been working on some pretty incredible things to keep these numbers where they're at. In fact, I would point out that although we were down in total average number of doors added for the community, it was down 7% and 15% if you look at all members and our top 50%. However, leads were down 30%, which means our community is getting really good at converting the leads that they do have and making sure that we are maximizing pipelines all the way through with proper nurture. In the month of January, our BDMs really focused in on and honed in on outbound prospecting. We've been pushing all of our members to set an outbound prospecting plan, and then we've been following up and holding accountable to make sure those activities are actually happening. If you don't have an outbound prospecting plan, it's such an important piece of overall business development, but also of lead generation. So I go back to what we were talking about in Sales Mastery, if you came, that all bound theory, where we need inbound, outbound, and next bound. Our community has really stepped into the next bound and the outbound, and we're starting to get that honed in really well. If you need help building an outbound plan, please reach out to us so that we can drive that plan and some of those activities to guide you towards filling that funnel with some leads. The other thing that we've noticed is that our offers are getting more creative and more compelling, which we think is helping us close doors and actually convert business. So we have to think about that compelling offer. And it's really important that, especially if your BDMs are taking APM leads, Thumbtack, Geek, anything like that, that they know how to differentiate themselves and have a different, more critical kind of conversation when they're either on the phone, Zoom, or in person. So if you need help with any of that, please be sure to reach out. A couple of things coming up for our community. Next Friday, we've got Skill Dev, and we are very excited as we're going to be stepping into some live practice. And we are also really excited for the Learn to Love closing webinar, which I know Jeremy will share more information about on this show. All right, back to you, Jeremy.